Good morning, Cowboy fans. This is Beaver Cowboys coming back at you again. Just had our last preseason game last night, and I'll give a little bit of assessment of that. Um, I thought that they played with a lot more energy than they did before. Um, Hopefully, that's what shotty ball looks like. I thought the quarterback played better. Um, Wide receivers, I saw them show up. And just the running game looked better. We saw a little pop. Running back Deuce. I hope Deuce makes the team. I think he is a pure running back. Um, I just think overall it was night and day better than what we've seen in the prior two games. But I looked it up, and August the 26th is cut down day, and it's a big day for a lot of the down roster players. But I was thinking about something because I heard Landlord and HTM talking about roster cuts and this, that, and the other. As fans, and me personally, I don't really care about roster cut day. We're talking about guys are the battle between the sixth and the seventh wide receiver, the battle between the fifth and the sixth corner. Who's going to be our third guard? If we get down to those kind of people, man, that we're in trouble anyway. The down roster players, people get excited about, and who's going to make the cut is intriguing, and how they're going to formulate the team on the downside. The 48th and 48th and 49th player. At the end of the day, those are not going to be the guys that make or break this team, make or break this season. The Cowboys are good with stacking their team from the bottom up, right? What I mean by that is, okay, so we'll take Pickens. What they did with Pickens is get a guy and put him at the top of your roster, and they pushed everybody else down. That's how you build a roster. So when you had Tolbert as your number 2 wide receiver last year, he was a decent C-level number 2. But if you bring Pickens in and make him your number 3, you see what I'm saying? It makes it actually better because you're getting more quality at the top. The top is what's gonna make this season, not the bottom of the roster. Not these guys scratching to make the team or our pet cats that, hey, he made the squad, I was rooting for him. If that guy gets out there, then we got issues anyway. The thing I like in it too is I think most people might get this analogy. I can't remember what year it was. I think it's 2016 or 2017 is when the Cleveland Cavaliers came back down 3-1 to beat the Golden State Warriors. To me, if everybody's healthy on both those teams, Cleveland's still a better team. Somebody always told me this, hey, Steph Curry is good, great, that is. LeBron James is great. But a great big player beats a great little player all the time. And so what they did, what Golden State did, they realized that, hey, you know what? We got to get better and better on the top. So they went to go and recruit KD, and they brought him up to the team. So when he came to the team, the pecking order changed, right? So whereas before Klay Thompson was the second best player on their team, now KD comes in and moves Klay Thompson to your third. Now he's the third best player. He's the best third player in the league. Now it depends on how you say this. I would say KD was number 1 and Steph number 2. Name another number 2 player that's better than Steph. Then you got KD at the top, and KD can go against anybody, LeBron or anybody. So what they did is they went to the top of their roster, got a player, fortified the top of their roster, pushed everybody down, and it's made their team better. So when people get tied up, I think it's different between micro and macro view, right? The micro view is the one that content creators and people that follow content creators, because we're so tuned into the team, these small battles of, who's going to be the right guard, who's going to be the backup tackle, who's going to be the fifth corner, and who's going to be the fifth safety. Those things matter to us. But in the grand scheme of things, the macro, the big view of things, they don't really matter. What matters is your top guys. Who's on the top? Who's out there on offense taking 90% of the snaps? Who's on defense taking 85 to 90% of the snaps? Those are the guys that's going to make a difference, not these down roster guys. So I don't really get up into, that's why even preseason games, I just want to see what kind of energy they have, what kind of offensive or defensive philosophy they have. What's changed? Can I see a culture change? Because these people the people that's playing, most of them are not the guys that's going to be played on Sunday. And so I really don't get caught up into that. And some people can do it. Some content creators, and me being in this business only for a few weeks, I understand that we have to find some things to talk about, and that's a low-lying fruit. Low-hanging fruit. But the thing is that those are not going to be the guys that makes a change in the season. It's going to be the top guys. You look at Philadelphia. What did they do when they had Devontae Smith? They went and got AJ, right? And that made Devontae Smith the second number 2 wide receiver, but he's a great number 2. Then in the running game, they went to the top and got Saquon. So they go to the top of their roster, get guys, and push other guys down. And that's the way you should build your team when you're aiming for a championship. Brian Robinson just went to San Francisco yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And so what they did is, he's not better than McCaffrey, but he's a great number 2. So and he's going to get a lot of carries. If something happens because of McCaffrey's injury, you got to leap back and you don't lose a step. So they're putting people at the top of their roster. They're bringing in talent at the top of their roster. That's what good franchises do. Some people may say, well, B. Bird, I mean, it's not like 7th rounders and 5th rounders and 6th rounders. It's not like they've not, made an impact in this league. They have. I mean, Tom Brady is famous for being a 7th round draft pick. And that's correct. Everything that you're saying is right. But if New England would have known how great Tom Brady would have been, you think they would have waited for the 7th round? They didn't know either. Joe Montana, San Francisco didn't know either. Tony Romo, the Cowboys didn't know either. Dak Prescott, the Cowboys didn't know either. You know what I'm saying? And so even Michael Parsons, if Cowboys knew who Michael Parsons was, do you think they would have traded back? No, they wouldn't have done that. And so sometimes you luck up on some things. Everybody I named was luck. I've heard somebody say this before. Like, whenever you're making an argument, make your argument on the rule, not the exception. The rule is that in your first, second, and third round, that's probably where you'll get your impact players. Don't rely on UDFAs. Don't rely on, roster cuts. I heard some we were talking about roster cuts and, hey, talking about Mozzie and, hey, we got to wait till people cut their roster. So what we're really saying is, we're going to take a guy that couldn't make another team, bring him in, and hopefully he can battle Mozzie. What is that saying about Mozzie Smith? What is that saying about the way we build our roster? To me, if you really think about and get a macro, look back and say, what are we saying here? That's not the way you build your roster. That's not even the way you find a one-tech. You go find one and trade for him. I'm talking about a proven guy. If we're waiting on roster cuts to better our defensive line, we're in trouble, y'all. I mean, just think about that. One thing teams are doing now is, you got to watch this, is what they're doing is they're not waiting on the roster cuts. They're trading for people they want because they know that if I don't trade for him, he's a free agent. Now I got to bid for this guy. So they're giving late round draft picks for people that they want. And I think that the Cowboys should identify some people that they want at this point in time and throw somebody at 6th, throw somebody at 7th to get a proven guy in here. If you want to get a guy in here for either the one tech or the cornerback position. I'm not saying that Mozzie can't do the job, but hey, competition doesn't hurt. Competition doesn't hurt at the top of the roster either. That's why. So when you look at what we brought in for the top of our roster, that push down, we brought in Pickens and we brought in Booker. To me, those are only really the guys that push other people down. So we just got to see where we're going to be. The Joneses are taking a chance on cornerback, and they're taking a chance on one tech because they have not made a move on that. We're going to be going in, starting the season with some unproven people. We did that last year. I remember we gave Carson's a nickname even before he ever played one game. We gave him Seatbelt. We had people call him Seatbelt, and I never did that because I was trying to figure out, let's let this guy prove it, then he'll get a nickname. He'll make it, he'll earn that nickname. And so a lot of things here, I just really want the nature of this video was basically to say that I know it's interesting. I just don't find it. I don't find cut day interesting at all, to be totally honest with you. I just don't think that those guys were ever going to help you on your roster. If they did, it was going to be a surprise. It's not planned. We can get cuts from other teams or whatever, but at the end of the day, I don't think that it will affect our record at the end of the year. I think you have to get top-down guys. You improve the top of your roster. You get people in that's going to challenge the safeties from last year. That's going to challenge the cornerback last year. That's going to challenge the tackle, the right tackle from last year. That's going to tackle that's going to challenge the one tech from last year. That's going to challenge Osa. You bring in guys like that in the running back room. You bring in guys like that, and then that's how you start getting competition and you're getting more talent in here. Guys is going to challenge those guys, not the guys that's challenging the sixth corner, the fifth linebacker. That doesn't help our roster at all. So I just wanted to come in, Cowboys fans. I did hear that this morning. I just want to come in and just tell you my opinion on that. And hey, I appreciate the time. Y'all have a great day. Cowboys out.